I never thought I'd be sharing this, but I've reached a point where I feel like screaming into the void might be my only option. This story is messy, painful, and something I still haven't fully processed. I hope sharing it will not only give me some clarity, but also warn others about the damage betrayal can cause within a family. I come from a close-knit family, or at least I thought we were close-knit. My parents have always preached about family being everything. I grew up with one older brother, Ethan, who was my best friend and partner in crime. Despite our 4-year age gap, we were inseparable. Ethan was charming, funny, and the golden boy in our parents' eyes. I, on the other hand, was the studious, quiet one who often faded into the background. A few years ago, I married my husband, Liam, after dating him for 5 years. Liam is an amazing man. Kind, supportive, and everything I'd ever hoped for in a partner. My family seemed to love him too. My mom often joked that Liam was the son she'd always wanted, and Ethan and Liam even became close friends, bonding over their shared love of sports and beer. I felt like I was living the dream. But that dream turned into a nightmare. It started small. Liam began coming home late from work more often than usual, claiming he was swamped with projects. I believed him at first because he's always been a hard worker. But then he started acting distant, his phone became glued to his hand, and he'd get defensive if I asked him who he was texting. I'll admit it. I started snooping. One night, while Liam was asleep, I unlocked his phone and found the texts. It wasn't just some random woman he was talking to. It was my brother's wife, Melissa. The texts weren't explicit, but they were flirtatious enough to make my stomach turn. They'd been meeting up under the guise of helping each other with errands and venting about family stress. I confronted Liam the next day. He broke down, admitting that their emotional affair had started months ago. According to him, nothing physical had happened yet, but they had feelings for each other and were planning to figure things out. I was devastated. I'd trusted both of them. Melissa and I had been close. She was like a sister to me. I immediately told Ethan, thinking he'd be just as furious as I was. Instead, Ethan's reaction was strange. He seemed more annoyed than angry, telling me I was probably overreacting and that it wasn't a big deal since nothing physical had happened. That was my first red flag. I couldn't let it go. I told my parents everything, expecting them to rally behind me. Instead, they told me I should try to forgive Liam and Melissa. My mom even said, "Families have to stick together and you don't just throw people away over a mistake." My dad nodded in agreement, saying, "Marriage is about forgiveness." I felt like I was losing my mind. How could they be so casual about this? I wasn't just hurt, I was angry. But the real gut punch came a week later when I found out Ethan knew about the affair all along. Not only did he know, but he had been covering for them. He'd even lied to me on multiple occasions to help them hide their meetups. When I confronted him, Ethan shrugged and said, "It's not my place to get involved in your marriage." I cut off all contact with Melissa and filed for divorce. Liam begged me to reconsider, but I couldn't look at him without feeling sick. My parents' stance didn't change. They accused me of being too harsh and tearing the family apart. My mom even had the audacity to invite both Liam and Melissa to Thanksgiving dinner that year, knowing full well I wouldn't come if they were there. That's when it hit me. I was the problem in their eyes, not the people who betrayed me. Ethan and Melissa continued their marriage as if nothing had happened, and Liam stayed close to my family. It was like I had been erased. Last Christmas, I decided to try one last time to mend things with my family. I showed up at my parents' house unannounced, hoping to talk things through. When I walked in, I found Melissa sitting on the couch, holding hands with Liam. My parents were sitting right there, acting like it was normal. I lost it. I screamed at all of them, asking how they could betray me like this. My mom's response? "You're being dramatic. Life moves on. You should too." I haven't spoken to any of them since. I've moved to a new city, started therapy, and am trying to rebuild my life. But the pain doesn't go away. The people who were supposed to love and protect me chose to side with my betrayers. Sometimes I wonder if I'm overreacting. But then I remember the looks on their faces when they told me to move on. I've learned the hard way that blood doesn't always mean loyalty. If you've ever been betrayed by family, know that you're not alone. And if you're reading this thinking, wow, that's messy, trust me, it's even worse living it. I'm still healing, and I don't know if I'll ever fully trust anyone again. But I'm sharing this because I want people to know that it's okay to walk away from toxic family members. You don't owe loyalty to people who betray you, even if they share your DNA. Sometimes the best thing you can do for yourself is to start over.